Governor Walz, please reconsider your executive order of April 10th. I know you were trying to protect first responders when you directed the Department of Health to disseminate the addresses of everybody who's been infected with COVID-19 to law enforcement agencies around the state. You're directing over 1,500 addresses, most likely, to more than 500 places. And you're saying, well, we're going to protect the privacy of those patients by not giving the names, just the addresses, so that when first responders are sent to homes or places to help, they will know whether or not they're moving into harm's way. Governor Walz, I've served as medical director of ERs, multiple ERs. I've been a nursing home medical director. I've been deputy coroner. You're not going to be protecting the first responders. By your own statistics, we have 1,500 people that have been infected, which could translate into something like 150,000 people who have COVID-19 in Minnesota, but we don't know about them. And if you give first responders a false sense of reassurance and that they're going to be protected because that address isn't on the list, you haven't done anything for them. There's a good chance they're putting themselves in harm's way. They are far better off preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. When I directed EMS services in my career, we went in not knowing if we were dealing with someone with hepatitis C or HIV. We just went in expecting the worst, if you would. That's what we need to do here. And the idea of not providing a name is no problem for people to get a name attached to an address in this day and age with computers. And do you forget that just less than a year ago, a Minnesota citizen was given more than $500,000 because more than 50 police officers in the Minneapolis Police Department had more than 50 times breached her records, gone in and looked up what her height and weight was, et cetera, on the DMV. And that the DNR itself has acknowledged that they had people inappropriately accessing records, not because they needed to, but just because they wanted to. We see hacking into computer databases virtually every week, if not every day. You're not protecting first responders with this action, and you are putting people in harm's way. You're stigmatizing people that have had COVID-19, and you're going to undermine the trust of people who are supposed to be reporting to the Department of Health cases of COVID-19. This is an overreach. It will provide a level of false confidence. This isn't a good thing to do. You need to think of a different solution. What if we simply have a hotline so that when first responders are going out to a call, they can plug in the address to this hotline and say, do we know if there's COVID-19 there? That would be enough. And if it comes back, no, we don't know that there's any COVID-19 there, we haven't given a false sense of reassurance. And we also haven't encroached on people's rights. This executive order flies in the face of our constitutional rights. It flies in the face of HIPAA. It's private health information. And you haven't asked these Minnesotans if it's okay with them if they have their record put on a database. And this isn't going to be secure, and it isn't going to be safe. But there's another way to get that information to first responders. If you're going to do this, why wouldn't you do it with HIV patients, hepatitis C patients? If first responders are worried because they're going to a home that might have guns in it, are you going to go that step too and put out every address that might have a gun registered to the home?
You need to get off your couch.
Governor
Step
Walz,
out.
these are hard times.
How much longer are you going to remain in the prison of your own home? Minnesota's economy must be reopened for business, or destroying the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of Minnesota citizens and their families may result if we don't act quickly. The fact is, our freedoms and economy are under full-blown attack by a radical, anti-American governor, and we must act quickly if we are going to save them. President Trump has been very clear that we must get America back to work very quickly, or the cure to this terrible disease may be the worst option. What is certain,
then you're going to scratch and go, wait a minute. There is no pandemic. We're just starving, locking ourselves in our houses, and we're dying. A little bit late for you to wake up at that point, don't you think?
It's a chore to cross over that barrier and realize, oh my gosh, this stuff is really happening. And that's why it takes critical thinking. The people have got to look at this stuff critically and see what they're being fed so they can cross that psychological line that they just refuse to see it when it's right in front of them.
Strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
There's going to be a second wave. They keep hinting at that because it says right here, there will be no return to normal.